Bench Chats with Andrew Kuhn and Geoff Gannon. Hope everyone is having a delightful day. Let's talk about healthcare investing and biotech.
Okay.
Have you ever done it? Would you ever do it? Have you ever looked at any company in that industry? I mean, remember Valiant Pharmaceuticals, now Bausch and Lomb.
Right.
That was a company that a lot of investors loved a couple years ago. I've seen studies of micro caps,
Right.
and like a group of like the best performing ones, and healthcare was one of the best performing, I guess you could say, groups of micro caps in general. So, are you opposed to looking, at healthcare companies or biotechnology companies? What are your thoughts on them? I mean, they're very profitable, and I guess sometimes there probably could be high barriers to entry into the industry.
Yeah.
If there's some sort of like FDA approval or patents or anything like that. So what are your thoughts on, the biotech or just, I guess, the healthcare industry in general?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever owned biotech, but I could be wrong. I have owned things in healthcare that I don't think were ever biotech that were cash shells when I bought them. So they were done burning cash and stuff basically, and I made some money on them and stuff. So like nets and things that had been healthcare stuff. And then also I did not own personally, but suggested to someone else to buy BioReference Labs, which was a company that did, at the time that I suggested it, did urine and blood testing. Yeah. Successful stock.
Why do you think Buffett's never really invested in those type of companies? Like, you would think it's industry he loves, right?
He has
Patents,
bought a little bit.
High barriers to entry, cash cows. He's obsessed with like statistics and actuaries and stuff like that.
Yes, but you have to understand the business. So he has bought them. He has bought into them before. He actually has. I bet he bought Sanofi himself, and there might have been some other ones like that. But I don't think he's done particularly well in them.
Really?
Yeah, that's my guess. From what I can put together, I don't think he's done particularly well in them. I think they don't fit Buffett's mold in that, like, Buffett's approach is that he has to understand the business himself, and not that any expert or something can explain it to him. So he really shouldn't be investing like at all in medical things that way, I would say. And that's the reason why I don't, is because I couldn't possibly understand it well enough myself to invest in it, and I would need to be relying on other people's explanations of it, and I wouldn't trust their explanations as well as I would understanding the business myself, So he can understand the American Express brand himself or something. He can understand those sorts of things. He can understand banking and insurance as well as any experts in those industries, but he could never understand medical stuff as well.
What about like medical device companies? Because do you ever notice, and I'm sure people watching this can relate, a lot of times when you run, screens to look for interesting companies and stuff like that, I feel like at least 25% of it is like a medical device company, and it's just on, from looking like with a bird's eye view, it looks very interesting, but then I'm just like, I have no idea if this company will even be around in 10 years. I mean, there's so much innovation always going on, and there's so much, the incentives for entrepreneurs in the medical industry are so high where there's just rapid change.
Yeah, I have definitely looked at some medical device companies and not bought them. But a lot of this has to do with the fact that these things aren't being paid for directly by customers in cash, and so it's harder to understand them when you get into things like the billing for it and the insurance companies and all that. That's usually why I don't do it, is because of the involvement of government in it, the insurance companies, the way billing works in each country and all of that. I'm kind of skeptical of my ability to predict that better than other people. I feel like there's other people who are more experts in lobbying and stuff who would better understand what's about to be changed and stuff in regulation than I would, so I'd be worried that I would be the one who doesn't understand that kind of stuff as well. It's a rare medical business that's being paid for, much like other kinds of products. So there's just a lot of middlemen and stuff in there that really complicates things in terms of regulation. And there are like investment banks and stuff who have people who are experts on Washington and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like they know better than me.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the app. Be on the lookout, whether on Google Play or iOS. Any day now, we'll have the full-on app out, and it's going to give you push notifications every single time we upload something. So really looking forward to that being out any day now. Thank you so much for being a subscriber, and we will see you in the next video.